Hi, and welcome to the Lonely Mountain Ultra 2025 volunteer briefing session. Before we get started, I'm going to hand over to Al, and she will do an acknowledgement to country.
Thanks, Renee. I'd like to acknowledge the Aboriginal people who are our traditional owners of our land and carers of our land. I'd like to pay my respects to Aboriginal people who join us today for this session. Our beautiful trails up in Wiradjuri country, we are so blessed to be able to host our Lonely Mountain Ultra on those trails with Gunnabulla overlooking and the focal point, Summit Aid Station. And we just feel so honoured to be able to host our event on our gorgeous Canobolas trails.
Thanks, Al. Okay, so we'll do a few introductions first and go through that. So I'm Renee McArdle. I am the president again this year for the Lonely Mountain Ultra. I'm really honoured to be able to be in that spot and be here tonight with Alison and Kim as your volunteer coordinators. So I'll hand over to Al for her introduction.
Here we are again. Gosh, this is my 4th year as volunteer coordinator. I'm so excited to be in the role again and looking to help and support and make sure everyone else feels excited as well and ready to be the best volleys we can be in 2025.
And I'm Kim Gray, and I'm the volunteer coordinator assistant to help Al. I have volunteered myself over the years, and I've also run the event. So really looking forward to being out on course with everyone and cheering them on and being part of the whole weekend, which will be great.
Fantastic, thank you. So we're running things a little bit differently this year. So instead of doing a drop-in meeting where everyone comes to hear this being said, we're doing it as a clean recording that's being sent out to all of you, and then and you'll get this recording on the email, and you'll have a suite of resources attached to that email as well to go through. And then what we'll do is next week we will send out you all a meeting invite for an optional drop-in session. So come along to that if you like to ask any questions or to pop in and just say hello and meet us and chat to us and introduce yourselves if you're new to volunteering this year, or even if you're not. Still pop in and say hello. We'd love to have a chat. But we do promote and encourage you, if you've got any questions as you're going through that, don't necessarily wait for that drop-in session. Please flick them through on email or connect into the volunteers private Facebook group. You can email us about that. We'll connect you in and ask your questions in there. So there'll be a flurry of not only committee members, Al and Kim, but also longer standing volunteers that will be able to help support all of us on the journey this year. So that will be all forthcoming. What the session is going to look like tonight and what we're going to go through with you is we'll first of all give you a bit of an overview of what the event weekend will look like. We'll go through the resources that will be sent out to you in this email, so you get an idea and get to see what each one of those will contain. We'll talk about what's included in your volunteer pack and your responsibilities there. We'll then talk about event safety services. So that's the company that we've engaged since our inaugural year, who manage all of our first aid and medical needs. We'll have some additional safety information to go through. We'll then talk you through the checklist of the day of what you need to be volunteer ready for everything LMU. We'll then let you know about the volunteer and committee after party, the first year it's happening, so stay tuned for that. and then we'll just sum up with a few key takeaways of everything that we've gone through, because there is a bit of information that you're going to hear tonight, and we do appreciate that. And Al will then give you an update on the scheduling status of when you'll be notified of what positions you will be filling and so forth. But for now, I'm going to hand over to Kim to talk about the event weekend overview.
So the event weekend is what we're all working towards. So starting on the Saturday is the actual race day on the 27th of September, or, you know, a little bit earlier for the other people who are running our big distance. So for the event day weekend, the committee and volunteers actually start on Friday morning at 8 a.m. and we go through to Sunday afternoon about 3 p.m. Friday is quite a big day. It's a setup day. It's set up, check in. You know, let's not forget again that the 100 milers do start on that Friday. So it's a really exciting vibe out in the event area, which is great. The event village and station and key course signage starts, you know, going up from about 8 a.m. And we also have on that day, which is very important, is the race expo and check-in. Now, this year it's going to be at the Robin Hood. They're going to be our race HQ, so big shout out to Robin Hood. Thank you so much for that. And that's going to start at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Great place for family and dinners and just to catch up with your friends and, you know, get ready for that race event. So I'd strongly suggest, if you've got time, stay, have dinner, have a drink, just really get into that atmosphere of this great event. Saturday is the race day. So really busy. Again, thank you so much for volunteering. We can't do this without you. We'll, you know, through today, talking about what's next and, you know, with all our marshal points and all that, we'll talk more about that. And then Sunday, we'll still have some of our ultra distance athletes coming through and, you know, what an absolute amazing achievement they've done. So as many people we can have get out there and celebrate that with them. And then that's when we start packing up as well. So it'll start happening sort of earlier hours through to the mid-afternoon. And once that's done, that's when we get to party. So that's when we get to really celebrate all the amazing people who have volunteered and really helped us bring this event to Orange, which is fantastic. So that will be with committee members and volunteers. And that's going to be at the Oriana. So, and it's just to say a really big thanks and how much we do really value you all. So saying that, you know, many hands make light work. So we would really appreciate if you're watching this and you think that you can help out a little bit more at the event village or anything like that, anything is valued. So yeah, thank you so much again for coming ahead and watching this and signing up with us. So I'll hand over to Al to talk about the roles.
Yeah, and just before I do, Kim, we're a little short on setup crew. So if you can give some time on Friday morning, I know it's a work day for most, but from 8 a.m, we would really value your support in helping to make our village come alive. And conversely, at the end, pack down, committee are exhausted. You can imagine we have been usually up for plus 50 hours. So we would love some fresh hands and some, you know, fresh bodies to help us pack down. We're a bit light on that as well. So if you can help in those two slots, just shoot me a text and I'll factor you in.
Yeah. Rally up all your friends and family to come with you as well. I'm sure they'd love it. The opportunity to catch up and meet new people, isn't it, too? So
absolutely.
Okay.
And there'll be a barbie provided on the setup crew and the pack down. So you'll be well fed and well watered. We'll have drinks as well. So yeah, just come along and give us a hand to set up and pack down. It'd be amazing.
Fantastic. Thanks. So still with you now, Al, with regards to roles and frequently asked questions, and I will share the screen for you to bring that document up so people get a bit of a visual about what we're talking about. So this will be one of the resources that you will receive. You will notice that there's a few little things that are highlighted on there. We're still putting our final little tweaks and touches into it, and different things where we want to link documents and so forth. So don't stress about any of that when you see that on the screen.
Yeah, so the roles and frequently asked questions, these have come from you in previous years without your feedback, in questions you wanted clarified. These are where you find those answers. So Renee's done a phenomenal amount of work on the documents that you're about to see. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Thanks, Renee. So if you've got any questions, they're probably going to be answered in the FAQs. So make sure you have a look at that document. Any specific roles that you'd like to find out about, or any questions pre-race and on race day, they're in there. And if you can't find it in there, then you can email me or text me, and we'll work it out.
Yeah. And if you're in that Facebook group, Al, just, pop a question up in there. We'll use all of the information the questions that you ask back to us and help enhance this document even more and keep that fully updated so it becomes really comprehensive for everybody.
Yep, so the next document is the aid station guide. So this is a brilliant document. If you are marshalling on an aid station, this has all your answers. We've updated the format and the details within this. The information's detailed on 2 pages for each aid station. So you can print out a double-sided, and we'll also have one at the aid stations. We will print one out, maybe even laminate it, because aid stations can get a little messy. So we'll have that there for you to use. Make sure you read through it, feel prepared for what you're going to have to do and the roles that you'll perform at your aid station. Particularly at aid stations, the directional information, just to help runners not get off course and just to support runners when they're a little bit delirious. And show them the right direction to go, because a lot of our aid stations are at focal points for directional confusion, if you like, particularly Towak Way. So make sure you read that information so you know which way to send runners.
Yeah. And we've left that there in a dark red text, not because we need to update it, but because we just want to highlight it that little bit more for you. That's the information there that you can quickly draw your eyes to when you go to that, and it's broken up by then each event of what way you have to send people. And the color coding's there, so you'll be able to identify those bibs. I'll go back to that actually. We had that was in here in our. So we heard your feedback from last year, and the bibs, whilst they were all color coded and aligned to the races and so forth, and those colors haven't changed. The design of the bib was a bit busy because we had a lot more pattern and graphics over it. So we've brought all of that back. We got some feedback from our volunteers in that private Facebook group that we've had, and it's quite a block color now. The design is more transparent in the background, so you can really just see the color of the race. You can see the event name, nice, big and bold, and the athletes registration number. So if you need to call that back, those 2 things are really visible, then to be able to relay back should there be any type of emergency that you need to send that back to. So these are on each one of the guides, so you've got that nice little snippet to know what colour represents each race. So hopefully that makes it a bit easier for you this year. Over
down the bottom that you've got the races, Renee, and which direction you're sending the runners. That's very, very helpful at an aid station, particularly those busy aid stations. So that's a really good inclusion.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. That's all there for each one. So with the summit being the party station and the biggest one on there, so that, yeah, that's got the most information on it. Cool. Okay, Marshall points.
So the next resource, if you are allocated a Marshall point role, we've got 13, possibly 14, 15 Marshall points that Renee has revamped the statements just a little bit to make them more detailed and much more succinct and easily to follow. So the Marshall points are located on course. So invariably you'll be with a chair, maybe with one other with a chair, and your job out there is to make sure you direct runners in the appropriate direction. So again, you've got that course information, you've got the bib colours and the bib colours that relate to the certain distances, just making sure that you're aware. For example, if you're on Marshall Point 7, you know, the 50s go straight ahead, the 32s come down the stairs and turn right, and the 22s come across and then they turn left. It's sometimes big junction points. So just make sure you have a read of that and you know which way you're sending runners.
Brilliant. Okay, God map, aka course maps.
So this is our planning document, but it's also a document for you that you can access on the website. Our God map has all the loops of all the races on it. It also has our aid stations, which are those purple bubbles on the God map. The blue bubbles are our Marshall points. And if you click on one of those bubbles, it'll actually come up with who is stationed on that and the times that you're stationed. So that hasn't been updated yet. That's my job. But you'll be able to access that and see who's went before you, who comes after you, just to create that sort of community spirit out at where you're positioned. The God map is something that both runners and volleys use. So it's a really good resource. If you have a look at the layers of the map, the big layer around the outside in purple is our 50K course, and you can layer on each of the distances there where Renee's showing you, toggling on the side. So you can layer on whatever loop that you're on, your Marshall point, and focus in. We like marshals to drive to their positions themselves. We do have drivers throughout the weekend, but it's great to have your own car there because then you can be totally self-sufficient and have all your comforts. So this map also allows you to see where you are marshalling, and you can drive to that point. And all Marshall points, bar maybe 2, are accessible by car. So you'll be able to drive to the point. The points that aren't accessible, don't worry, I've got someone who runs those trails and knows that point. But your point, if you're not so familiar with our beautiful trails, will be one that you can drive to.
Okay. So this functionality is still all possible when you do it on a phone. Obviously, I'm doing it on a laptop at the moment, so it's a bit cleaner and bigger and nicer and all of that sort of stuff. But this side menu is still accessible on the phone. I think there's just the 3-line bar menu that you hit at the side to actually then open it up, because it won't automatically come up like it does if you were looking at it on the laptop. And then you can check the box to see if you just want to only see different course loops. I think, Al, the thing to mention is that all of the Marshall points and the aid stations are listed under the 50K loop. So if you come in for whatever reason and you're not seeing anything, it's potentially because that's toggled off for whatever reason. So you just need to open that menu and bring the 50K loop back on, because you'll see that, you know, pretty much everything disappears if the 50K loop isn't ticked. And so you can navigate to it in a couple of different ways. You can click at it from the side and you'll see that that's highlighted with the sort of grey and white bubble around it, which then brings up that information that Al was saying. So if you want to then see who's on before and after you, you can see that, or with you, or you can, if you're scrolling in and zooming around on things and you want to go, oh, well, what is this? You can click on that and it will tell you it's Towak Aid Station. And well, these are the people that were assigned last year, but very soon you'll actually see the people that will be assigned to it this year. So just, to navigate through that and just get really familiar with it and have a play. And if something's not working right for you, then that's one of the questions you can email into us or come into our drop-in session and we can help unpack that with you next week when that's happening live on screen then. So, okay.
Can we say where it was found, Renee, the God map? So it's found on our website. So if you click on any of the events on our website and then scroll
bring that up for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That prepared later for that one. But that's okay. We can show them live. So on the website, if you come into, let's go into the 100 miler, right?
Yeah,
always got to go into the 100 miler. If you scroll down.
Yeah. Under the big map,
Yeah, so under the map and the elevation guide, you'll see this here. Course maps. If you click on that, it will open up in a new screen for you and take you to that. Now, I said pretty much everything should be activated in the layers, but if it's not, just make sure you click on that menu and have a look, because sometimes, not all the layers might not be activated for whatever reason. So just turn them on. Cool.
Beautiful.
Okay. So the next one to talk about is the race guide.
Yeah, so our race guide is a very comprehensive document. Obviously, it's sent out to both runners and volleys. It's being finalised, but make sure you take time to read through it. It's got a lot of helpful information. And it might even help you, or will help you, to answer questions that runners have as they're coming past you at a marshal point or an aid station. So it's got some tips and tricks on how to support runners and just make sure that we make it a great day for them as well.
Yeah. So unlike the other resources that we've just showed you, such as the aid station role description and the course marshal point descriptions, we will have printed copies this year of those at each of those points for you. And you can bring your own copy as well, especially if you're at an aid station. We might do 2 copies of that actually, Al, because there's a few people and so forth. But, print them out, have them there, make your own notes and so forth of them. But for the race guide and the frequently asked questions, those resources won't be printed out. So make sure you've just got the link handy on your phone, and or that you've gone through them and taken any key points down that you want to have with you on the day, because we to be a bit environmentally conscious, we won't have printed copies and excessive copies of those, because inevitably they aren't used, and we are more so in that digital world where we can bring it up and use our phones for those sort of things.
And you will have coverage out on our trails. There's Telstra coverage is pretty good out there, and other networks. So you'll be able to.
And with Optus, and they're all pretty good. Brilliant. Kim, volunteer packs, all the good stuff.
This one's, I get to do the good stuff. So we have a great volunteer pack this year, which is fantastic. And it's really just to say thank you in the best way we possibly can. We can't say thank you enough for volunteering. It's how this amazing event gets to be run on our beautiful mountain. So as a thank you, all volunteers will receive an LMU tote bag which will include a buff, a lanyard with contact card. So that'll be a really important thing on the day for you in case you need anyone. So that's the beautiful tote bag that Renee's showing. So the lanyard will have, the contact card will have Al and my name on it, if in case there's anything that you need. It will have a drink, some chips and lollies to get you through the day. There will also be a voucher for a 1 kilo bag of fresh apples from our local orchard, Hillside Harvest, which is amazing. So thank you so much. There'll be choice of a soft flask or a soft cup this year, which is
this is a release. No one's seen these yet, apart from committee.
Yes, so this is exciting.
Volley, you get to see our new merch, which you are getting this year.
Yep, so you get a choice of one of those, which is great. So for when you're out on the trails or, just at an event or at a sporting event.
Most events are cupless now, so it's very handy.
Yeah, which is great. You'll also get a complimentary barbecue. So if you aren't positioned in the event village, please feel free to swing by and grab yourself something to eat before or after your shift. Just again, make sure you're refueled and ready to go. If you're one of our overnight volunteers, thank you for that, because that's a big ask as well. You will receive a voucher for a free tea or coffee and a sweet treat from Academy Coffee Orange, which very much appreciates them coming on board and celebrating our wonderful volunteers, and especially the people who are giving up their sleep. So thank you very much. Our event partner, now I'm a little bit biased on this one, Fitness Perfection has also come on board a little bit more than they normally do, and giving an exclusive offer to people who are volunteering. So existing FP members, you will have an additional month added to your membership. And for non-Fitness Perfection members, you will receive a 5-visit pass card just to say thank you. And hopefully, if you're not a member, that might start your journey to maybe run the event and volunteer again the following year. So that would be great. Also, for volunteering, you're guaranteed entry with 25% discount for 2026. So that's where we're hoping your love for our trails, our town, and this event really starts and you come back next year. And you'll, so that LMU entry fees during the priority early bird entry, and then you get 15% after that. So we'd encourage you, if you're going to do that, to, sorry.
This is live.
Sorry. I need to now bring that back up. Sorry about that. Someone tried to ring me.
It's all good.
Yep. So how and where do you collect all this and get ready for the event? So this is the important part, and this is where we were talking about Robin Hood. So the volunteer desk for bib collection will be at the Robin Hood from 3 o'clock on Friday. It'll be from 3 till 9, or you can come on Saturday at the event village, and the volunteer tent will be close to the entry gate, so you can just come up and see one of us there as well to get it. Finally, there is a volunteer vest that you will need to wear. So Renee's going to show you what that looks like. So please remember to grab that, and especially for the people who are doing a night shift, please remember the one with the reflectors, just for safety reasons, and also runners can see you, which is fantastic. And please remember, though, that we do need those vests back afterwards. So if you can just drop them off to us after that. Otherwise, we will be a bit stuck for the next person. So that would be really, really good. A really big tip is when you get your contact card, make sure you put the key contacts into your phone already, so you're not scrambling if you need us. So just put ours and mine, and Renee's, and the safety person as well. Put that in your phone so it's ready to go. But the volunteer pack is really to celebrate you guys as volunteers, because we can't do it without you, and we can't say thank you enough. So please, take this token as our biggest appreciation. So I'll hand over to Al to talk about the event safety.
Thanks, Kim. Wow, that volley pack this year, hey? It's great.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
That is
We are just so blessed to have amazing sponsors coming on board with us, Hillside Orchard, Fitness Perfection, Academy Coffee, and those sort of things. So, I think actually it's not mentioned in there. All athletes get a pure gel for that. And I believe volunteers will get one in there as well. So they get to try a pure gel as well. So there's some pretty cool stuff.
We've got a great community in Orange, haven't we? Country Fruit are back on board, supplying all the fruit for aid stations free of charge. Clint at Country Fruit's incredible. So hits his 4th year as well doing that.
It is, yeah.
So event safety services. Kim mentioned the lanyard that you will pick up as part of your volley pack. We have Lucas on board with his team again. He will be based in the event village, and Lucas and his team are, I guess, in control and in charge of the emergency services and response team throughout the weekend. They're very experienced and very familiar. They run lots of major trail running events, not just ours. So they are our first port of call when it comes to first aid and emergency response. If you're a sweeper, you will be given a radio that you will take out on course as part of your role, and you'll be linked straight to Lucas. The aid stations also will have his number. He'll be on call throughout the whole weekend to be able to support you, to be able to support runners. Because ultimately your role is to make sure runners are safe and to make sure if there are any problems out on course, and they can happen, that you know who you can ring for support, and support will come to you ASAP. So it's really important that you have that number in your phone, particularly for Lucas. If there is an emergency, it's important to gather as much information as possible and be really clear as to your locality when you're passing on the information to the team, just so we're quick in response to be able to come out and help that runner, possibly pick up the runner and bring them back to the event village. It does happen, Renee, I'm allowed to say, every year. There are injuries that do occur, usually minor, but runners need to know that you're all over it, as well as a volley to be able to support them in their time of need. So don't worry, you'll be supported out there when it comes to first aid and emergency.
And Al, just before you just move on to the next thing, I think the other thing to add in there that is, and the details on how to do this will be in the race guide. So when you get that resource to do it, is to download the Avenza map. So if you know then what position you're going to be at and what races that is going to be, in reality, you only need one of the Avenza maps, don't you, Al? Because that's going to give you those coordinates.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, if an emergency is happening, we understand it's human nature that there's a level of panic that's going to step in sometimes as well. So that's going to happen. And if you're trying to remember where you're positioned and, it might be a new spot for you this year and so forth, and you forget that, if you've got the Avenza maps on those location services on your phone, you can open that up and it actually gives them the coordinates. So when Lucas asks you, where are you, instead of trying to remember, oh, I'm at the bottom of somewhere, maybe it's Wombat, maybe it's such and such, I don't know, because you're so focused on what's happening, that functionality within the app gives you precise coordinates, so Lucas knows exactly where you are, because you may have actually had to go up a little way up the road because someone's told you that a runner's up there, or there's so many different things that can happen. So save you trying to figure out exactly where you are. To describe that, there's a set of numbers on there that guides you to that exact that will guide Lucas and the team and our committee members to that precise location. Yeah.
And remember, Kim and I are there for your support as well. So you can always just ring any of us to help and support you as well. We know that course out there like the back of our hand. So, yeah, we're here for you.
Yeah, cool. Great. Thanks. Sorry, additional safety information.
Oh,
interrupted
good.
That.
That's all right. So just some other safety information out on course. Just be mindful we don't have exclusive access to the park, which means there will be traffic on the roads. But we do have a comprehensive traffic management plan, which includes stop-start controllers at major intersections. So you and also our runners are safe. As I've already mentioned, we'll have course sweepers. That's part of the volley, one of our volley roles for every race event. So they'll be provided with a first aid kit to carry and also that all-important radio back to the event village to be contactable with Lucas. Our first aid kits, each aid station will also have a first aid kit, and they'll also be in all of our vehicles. So we've got 3, I think they're trucks, Renee, is that right? Yeah, from West Orange Motors. They've given us 3 vehicles to use throughout the weekend, and each of those vehicles will also have a first aid kit. Make sure any and all instructions given to you by police are to be obeyed. So any concerns, contact Al or Kim or Renee back at the event village. We're in the beautiful state forest as well as our national parks. So just be mindful, LMU is a cup-free event. And so we've advised all of our athletes to bring their own, like our little soft cups that Renee held up before, or a water bladder. So there shouldn't be any cups used. And out on course, there are 3 biosecurity disinfection mats. So we call them, gosh, it's gone out of my head. Renee, what are they called?
Hoof mats.
Foot mats, thank you. Foot bars. And those mats or bars have a solution in them to help runners to clean off their shoes before they go into National Park. So if they've been running around in the state forest, National Parks just want to be mindful that no impurities, I guess, are brought into the National Park areas. And one of the jobs of a few volleys that you'll be told about is to replace the solution in those foot bars. So, yeah, just be mindful they're located. They're at Towak Way, they're on Mitchell's Way, and also up at Goat Track, which doesn't mean anything to you. So that's where they're located. So if you are on a Marshall Point or an aid station where those mats are located, that will be part of your role to make sure that we keep our national parks safe and make sure we and I was going to say encourage runners, but make runners walk through those biosecurity disinfection mats.
Yeah. And so I suppose just to highlight for everyone, the very first year it was a foot bath. So there was a tub with a level of water and solution in there that they had to go through and so forth. We're a lot more advanced in the last couple of years because we've actually brought the more sophisticated or more advanced biosecurity mats, disinfectant mats, hoof mats. There's a whole heap of names for them. But basically, it's a big blue mat that they will walk across. So they're not having to put their feet in a tub in water. They're not going to get wet. But what it does is the solution that's in there, which is completely safe. It's not going to ruin anyone's shoes or anything like that. And it's not going to, make them slip over or anything. It's just going to clean off those impurities. So it's really important that we do that to ensure, as Al's already said, that the parks are kept as free as possible from that. We're putting 1,000+ runners on our beautiful mountain over this weekend, which is amazing. It's so fantastic that we get to see that, but let's make sure that it stays beautiful, I suppose, for everyone to experience in future years. So, yeah, they all need to run over that. And if you're at those stations, don't stress. It's not a hard process to do, and you'll be given instructions and whatnot on how to top it back up with that solution. So don't. It's not a big onerous job, but it's an important job.
And there's only 3. So
yeah.
Howick Aid Station, Marshall Point 11. You will definitely have a footbath to be responsible for. And there's one other Marshall Point that I've got to sort.
Yeah, we'll get that done. Okay, we are at the back end of this. We're nearly finished. Hang tight, everyone. So I'm just going to run you through your checklist for the day. Now, that is detailed in these resources that you will get. So you've got that to read through. We're just going to talk to that just real quickly. And of course, it's just a guide. So it's going to depend on what timing and what station volunteer point that you're actually scheduled to. But don't forget your tote bag. So in that tote bag, you're going to have your volunteer lanyard, which has the emergency contact details card on it. So there's going to be a card with all this information on there with all those phone numbers that you're going to put in your phone as well. So bring that along. In that tote bag, there's a handful of little goodies to snacks and so forth, like the drink and the popper, some chips and a muesli bar and so forth, and a lolly. So that's just to get you started. Add in there everything else that you need and swing by the event village and grab a sausage sandwich or a steak sandwich from the barbecue as well. It also, when you pick up your tote bag, you're going to get your vest as well. So make sure you have that with you, and that needs to be worn at all times out on course for your safety and just to be identifiable, so our athletes know that they can come and talk to you if they've got a question. If you're on an evening or an overnight shift, please bring a headlamp or a torch. For everybody, make sure you've got your hat, sunscreen, some warm clothes and a blanket. Again, just depending, we do live in Orange, right? Anything can happen. Be prepared for the 4 seasons in one day. We're not going to need to worry about it because we're going to have perfect running conditions.
Not snow like a week ago.
Not snow. Not snow, and no rain and fog and horribleness for our 100-milers start from their point to point this year. Hey, Alf.
Yeah, filthy weather.
Filthy weather. It's all part of it. It's all part of any race, but it's all part of a trail race, right? So, come prepared. So as volunteers, you need to be just as, if not more prepared than what our runners are on course. So come prepared with all of those bits and pieces, which is why Al was saying, if you can be self-sufficient and get yourself to those places, you've got everything in your car there as well. If you need it, we can help you out, but you still need to get out to the event village for us first. Make sure you've got a phone with you. Good idea to always pack a power bank so you've got that there to recharge. We will have chairs at the aid stations. We're also going to put chairs at the Marshall points. We've just had a bit of a chat about that, but they will be more so those plastic chairs. So if you want something a bit more comfortable, like a camping chair and whatnot, then bring that for yourself to be in there. That course map that we were showing you earlier, save that link on your phone, put it in your favorites on your whatever browser that you're using, so you've got that there. Bring a bell or a whistle or something, and we'll do another exclusive release of some merch this year, shall we? We have to, right?
Everyone will have to purchase one now. Yay!
Did that sound come through? Did you?
No.
Did it? Oh, it's okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's good that it blocks out everything, right? Apart from me talking. So we have cowbells this year. We have LMU cowbells. They are amazing. And so who doesn't love the sound of a cowbell? So for our aid station and our Marshall points, we will have a cowbell there for you. So you can be ringing it. please don't take it with you. Please leave it there for the next volunteer to use. If you'd like your own, then come and grab one from the merch stand so you've got it there to use. As I said, make sure you've got your sustenance that you need for the duration of your shift, and dress up and have fun. Our volunteers love it. You'll see, I think it's on the aid station cover on the pack of that. You know, we had some of our volunteers up on the summit. Was it Mark and Deb, like dressing up in
bananas?
Well, and cow suits.
And cow suits?
Cow suits and bananas and anything. So bring the tutus out. You know, who doesn't love a good dress up? I'm thinking I need to dress up. I tell all the volunteers to do it, Alan. You know, I love a good dress up. I think I need to do it this year.
Tim, we're dressing.
I was given a cool idea actually the other day about a dress up that may involve our merch as well. So look out, I might bring that to life if I actually get a minute. But back to the point. Please have fun with it, because our athletes, that vibe and that enthusiasm that you bring on it, like I get goosebumps. I seriously have goosebumps at it. It just means so much. If you've ever been a runner out there, you know what I'm talking about. There's so much mental struggle that you go through, and you know, the ups and downs of a event, no matter how big or small the distance, it's still big enough for the person that's doing it. And that smile, that fun vibe, that banana suit, that cow suit, that cowbell, honestly, can be the make or break of whether that athlete crosses the line. So we want you to have fun with it. We want you to have an amazing day. And our athletes are so grateful for everything that you do, as are we. So dress up.
And music. Music is awesome to hear in the bush.
Yes. Yes. So bring your boom box. Where was I born? Like 1970? Am I giving my age away? 77 actually, but 70s. Boom box. Yeah, bring your boom box. What are they called? I can't remember now.
Just bring your speaker and Bluetooth.
Thank you. That too. Thank you, Kim. Bring your speaker. Bring your boombox. Let's have an 80s dress up.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yes, you can bring music. That's a really good point. Thank you, Al. Because I know a couple volunteers weren't sure about that last year, and they said afterwards, "Oh, I didn't realise." So please do that too.
I'm working on a thematic approach for aid stations too. Maybe.
Say again.
Each aid station might be themed.
Oh, yes, got you. Oh,
sorry, I was teacher speak then. Thematic approach.
I just didn't quite hear what the word was that you said, so I'm just like, a what approach?
Yeah. Anyway, themes possibly. Watch this space.
Cool. Love it. I love it. Yes. So then there's a challenge to all volunteers then that have gets assigned to a Marshall point. Theme up your Marshall point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We love it. Cool. Okay, back on track. Volunteer after party. Thank you to the Oriana and Orange Trike Tours. This is the first year that we're having an after party. These local businesses came and approached us and wanted to help out. And so, yeah, in talking with all of these amazing businesses, we're kind of spreading the love and the load, and they are going to open up their beautiful summer garden. If you've been there at any stage, you know that they've got an amazing area for this. So all volunteers will receive a couple of complimentary drink vouchers. The summer garden will be open. They're going to have the pizza oven operational. You will need to purchase those food and nibbles. We'll see what we can do in that space and so forth. But if you want something to eat, there will be the opportunity for you to purchase some of their beautiful pizzas as well. You can use the pool if you want to. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like, but is there for you to use. If it's a bit chilly, you can also go and jump in the sauna, because they've given us the use of that as well for everyone, if you want a little bit of a wind down. So that's very generous, and we're really looking forward to being able just to come together, I think, as Kim said at the start, and just take that opportunity and moment together with our volunteers to say thank you. So please come and enjoy that time with us, even if it's for half an hour. It'll be from approximately from 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock. But watch this space. You'll get a formal email notification with all the details and so forth about it. Orange Trike Tours will be there as well. So they're going to offer our volunteers a little complimentary tour and ride around Orange or in town or wherever, how that works. If there's not enough time, because there's a high volume of people interested, they will take some bookings, but you have to be there at the after party to sort of book that in, sort of thing. So come and experience that. Again, that's just an amazing little treat, just to sit back and come and have a drink, and then sit back and have a little tour around Orange and see it from a different perspective. Okay, our key takeaways. We've spoken about so much already tonight. I think the key parts that I would like to highlight for you is, remember that you've got your volunteer lanyard and contact card with you, and your vest, and that's on at all times. You can come and pick that up from our headquarters in town at the Robin Hood. And as Kim said, don't forget, if you want to go, you can pick that up on Friday night, I should say, from Friday afternoon. Stay there and have some dinner. They'll have a beautiful menu on. I know they're looking to put on a bit more for our athletes, but hey, who doesn't love a good carb meal? So there's potentially going to be some carb stuff there. I do also believe our beer sponsor, Reckless, will be, they'll be having them on tap, I think that's right to say, for the event weekend as well. So stay there and grab something to eat. But you can pick up your tote bags from the Robin Hood from 3 till 9 on Friday, or you can get it at the event village from Saturday morning throughout the whole time. So the event village opens at 5 a.m. So we'll be there to collect that. Parking, if you are stationed and an event village volunteer, so that is on the private property. It will be fully coordinated and managed by RFS, so they will guide you where to park. You can park there for the whole duration of the time. It's completely safe and fine. If you're an aid station or a Marshall Point volunteer, we've said it a couple of times already, but please, we would, for your own comfort as well, if you're able to be self-sufficient and have your own vehicle and take yourself there, obviously that is the preferred way to drive yourself there. We've got the course maps to help you find that and get those directions there. If by chance that you aren't comfortable in driving on course to get there, let us know in advance that you need that, and we can arrange someone to take you to your scheduled location from the event village. So you need to be able to get yourself out to the event village first. We'd ask that you at least allow at least an additional 30 minutes, maybe even 60 minutes if that needs to happen, because we've got people that will be happening and going everywhere. It's a really busy day, as you could imagine. So if you need that lift, sort of arrive maybe at least 60 minutes earlier, and we can get that coordinated for you so you can get there on time. And I think they're probably the main things. Read through the resources, please. Really, I know it will take a minute or two. The reality is the aid station guide and the Marshall Point guide, you only have to read the one that you're assigned to. You don't have to read all of it. It's just the particular one. The FAQ document isn't, whilst we're getting there with the comprehensiveness of it, it's not huge. It'll only take you a few minutes to read, and the value of that will be amazing. The race guide will be the biggest document to read, but it's going to have so much valuable information in there that helps you on the day to answer for runners and for yourself to feel comfortable. So, and then ask every single question you need, because the only silly question is the one that you haven't asked. So make sure you're comfortable with it all, because if you're thinking it, someone else is as well, I guarantee you. So email us, put it up in the Facebook chat, or come to our drop-in session. Scheduling.
All right. So, Will, what do you reckon? Have we got about 800 runners so far, Renee? I think we'll get upwards of 1,000.
Yes, yes, we're around that. We definitely will. We're on track to probably exceed that 1,000 point.
Fantastic, which has been what we've had in last year, I think, and close to the year before as well. Amazing. We're just growing. We're just growing every year, and we can't do it without volunteers. So we've got 140 or so, and I can see that getting towards the 150. So at the moment, my amazing job is to put that jigsaw together. So making sure that I'm listening to your needs, which you've put down on when you've registered, your time slots, and making sure, well, actually I can show you, this is the God map. Teacher, paper and pencil, this is how I start. So scheduling people into aid stations and Marshall points. I know that you're keen to know, I know, and I've had a few texts already of people wanting to know where they are, but you can imagine it's a logistical jigsaw puzzle, and it will come together. It's getting there. Give me another week. So by Thursday, Friday next week, I will send you all a personal text message with your role. And I like doing it that way because then you can text me back and say thumbs up, all good. Or if there's a problem, you can text me and we can be a little bit flexible. But, you know, I've actually never had anyone really refuse a role, which is, you know, a godsend when it comes to this kind of event. And thank you for your flexibility, and thank you for stepping up and doing a midnight to 4 a.m. shift. Quite often I'll call people if that's your shift, just to give you a heads up and a chat about it before it goes out in a text. So bear with me, give me another week, and we'll have you scheduled in. 140 volunteers, that's incredible. We could not do it without you. Committee have been amazing trying to drum up support. It's a team effort. We've got a lot of local clubs on board again, Pinnacle Dragons for their 4th year, the Tri Club, Orange Tri Club for their 4th year, the mountain bike clubs back on board. We've got our Rotary groups that have come on board to do parking. So we've got a lot of returners, and we could not do it without the support of our local businesses and clubs and you guys as individuals. So remember, if you're on a night shift, I don't think it's right to stick you in the middle of the bush on your own. So you'll always be with someone. So if you're scheduled, you know, after dark, you'll be with a pair. So, just for your safety and your comfort when you're at those positions. Yeah, I guess patience. I'm getting there.
Yeah. And just Al, for that as well, take the opportunity to use it, especially, I mean, obviously you're focused on what you're doing and so forth. But if you are volunteering and you're happy to go out and do a night or an overnight shift and do the graveyard shift, as we call it, drum up a friend. Use it as a catch up and go and sort of sit there and cheer on people together and be out there then with someone as well that you know. I mean, Al does an amazing job of pairing people up with people who might know each other, or you know, if she knows them with similar interests and all that sort of stuff. But if you've got someone that you know that you can convince, is that the better word to use? Or convince, twist their arm to come out with you, bribe. Yeah, no, I didn't hear that. La, la, la. People do whatever you need to do. But yeah, so because whilst we do have that amazing number already of volunteers, thank you. We can never say thank you enough. An extra 10 or 20 is our sweet spot to make it easy for everybody on the day and not to be absolutely, I suppose, exhausted and burn people out. Just gives that little bit more room and flexibility in that space. So if we can ask for one last thing and for you to rally up a few extra people for Al and Kim, or for all of us really.
For our event, yeah.
Yeah, for all of those 1,000 athletes that you are going to be, you know, have a role in getting over the line and helping someone achieve their goal.
Yeah, we're just so proud of our event. It's amazing. It's the 4th year. You know, this conception of Scott Hazelton, our run director, and a group of mates. And it just came to be, and we're all just so passionate about trail running and our trails and our beautiful Wiradjuri country out there. And it's beautiful to be able to share it with you as our volleys, and you can experience what runners do in a way. You're right there by their side.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to draw this to a close and say thank you to everyone for watching through. There's a lot of information, but it's a big day and there's some few key things. Please read through the resources. Please email or text or jump into get into the Facebook group and ask all of the questions that you need to do. Dress up. We might, maybe we have to best dressed, Al. Well, you know, we can find a prize.
Oh, yeah.
Surely we can find a prize.
Yeah, we can do that.
Best dressed.
Maybe photos to our Facebook group too.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next point. Like, we want you to take all photos as well. So any photos that you take out, please share them with us. You know, we can't be everywhere. You are out in all of these places and spots, seeing all of our amazing athletes and cheering them on. If you snap a few pictures of them, of you, of them with you, selfies, whatever you need to make it happen, send them through to us. Send them through to on the LMU Messenger. Or if you're in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group for volunteers, then chuck them all up in there. Like amazing to see all that flurry of activity and so forth happening. Now, you've heard me probably say this private Facebook group a few times. If you're not connected into it, you can't find it because it's a private group. We've kept it private because we want to be able for people to post things in there, post questions. We will load those files up in there once they're finalised and whatnot as well. So there's just multiple areas of reference points for you. But that means that it's not easy found. So we have to send you an invite to that. Now, and we've done that, a lot of the time that will go to your junk. So if you email it to us, if you can't find it or so forth in there, email us. We'll do it again then when you email us, and then you'll know to sort of keep an eye out for it. There are some times that we can add you if you like the page and all of those different things, but it can be a little bit temperamental, and we're just kind of fine tuning and playing with that to find the best way of doing that. But try and get in that group and use that as a photo repository, as an information source, question and answers, and just sharing your experience with everyone, because we love looking back through that stuff and everything as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, we will see you in a week or so's time. You will be sent an invite to a drop-in session. So as I said, stop in and say hello, ask any questions if you like on that after you've read through all of our resources.
Awesome. Can't wait. Let's do this.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay.